Welcome to our home on wheels, our converted Nissan NV200 camper. Here we have our rock and roll bed, so we can fit 2 extra passengers in the back. So seating position 1, seating position reclined 2, and then around here, which really makes the van, makes it super spacious. We've got the swivel seat in the front.
So this is my favourite seat in the van. It's really comfy. And it can be heated as well because the van's got heated seats, and the heated seats also work in the recline position. So we fitted a swivel plate. It was a standard Volkswagen T4 swivel seat that we had to modify slightly to fit this van. And with this fantastic legroom table leg, we can pull the table right up here. It's a really great workstation on your laptop here. You can pull it right up to you. And yeah, it's a really nice place to sit. I've got a little light here to light up your workspace. So when we're ready to drive, this is the procedure for swiveling the seat round. We have to slide it forward a bit, angle it down, and swivel it round, and then it clicks into place, and you push it down again. And then it's now locked into position, ready for driving. And then when we want to swivel it back, there's a little lever here. Now we pull that lever back, and then it starts to swivel. There's just about enough clearance here. It swivels round.
So if you start down here, we have fridge. We've got 2 25-litre water containers. We do realise we use a bit more water because we have such a fabulous big sink. Okay, running water. Then with the handy lid, it's also just extra worktop space as well. Got induction hob to cook on, so when we're kind of plugged in of an evening or overnight, we can use that to cook on. Otherwise, we have a kind of gas camping stove if we want to use as an alternative. Some handy pockets here, so we use that mugs storage, nice little shelf there. I was adamant that I wanted a good surface to store a wine glass or a cup of tea, so that's that pocket. We also have lots of cubby holes, which we're wondering, is it going to be big enough? But actually you can ram so many clothes and bits in there, that's good. Down there I've got the duvet sheets and a few extra layers and things. Box down here, got kind of dried stuffed breakfast bits, giant tub of peanut butter concealed under there. We got in here, chopping board, looks like a little bit of leftover chocolates, coffee making, cutlery drawer. That's really good. It's kind of got a friction fit going on, so it doesn't slide out as you're going around corners. Nice and sunny at the moment. And we've got these extra windows we put on either side when we're cooking. It's great to be able to open this one, let out all the steam. Kind of LED ceiling lights. So we've got these, which are the main ones, so over the cooking table and everything. Then we've got the back ones as well. So if you're kind of sitting back reading, or when the bed's out, just kind of lights on the heads for kind of reading or whatever there. And for extra mood lighting, we've got little fairy lights and a bit of a homely twinkling glow. Cover up the windows so no one can see all the tasty snacks and things that we have in here. Created these blackout curtains, which just with these sewn in magnets, which are really useful. They came with the plastic all the way kind of round already, which meant you just needed to sew in the plastic rather than worrying about kind of positioning a magnet in the seam. And then just get them all. This is a blackout lining, so they're really good at keeping the van totally dark when you want to lie in, or again looking a bit more incognito if you've got the lights on in here and it's dark outside. Then same as the curtains, we've just actually got a modified larger curtain from the shop. Already had these rings in, luckily. We put up the pole, and that comes across, so yeah, stops people looking in the back and also gives us privacy when the bed's out. And yeah, high-tech peg on this bit of trim makes sure that yeah, it's totally blacks out. getting the van into bed mode. This front bit flips up, and underneath there are two red levers that you kind of push together, and then once they're pushed together you pull a bit forward and you can pull that all the way out. There we go. We've got a flatbed. And just hide the seat belts.
There we go.
Okay. Under here we have this lever. Takes a bit of coordination, but yank that up, and then after that you can just push this front bit and bring the seatbelt buckles back up. And just push it, and we often like leave it in a semi-recline mode, which is quite relaxing, but for driving, and then you push it all the way back in. Yeah, and that's it, clicked in place. And here is our 100-watt solar panel, so enough to have the cool box on or go into charging the laptop. But yeah, performing really well in sunny Spain.
So when we're plugged into a hookup or a charging station, the 240 volt outlet there becomes live, and so there's this one down here. And plugged into here we have the cool box that can run off 12 volts or 240 volts, and also the induction hob. And under here we have another two 12 volt outlets for the 12 volt kettle and for the cool box. So up on the roof we've got a 100-watt flat solar panel, and it's currently generating 2.1 amps, so that's about 24 watt. It's only flat on the roof of the van, so it obviously only generates its maximum output when the sun is directly overhead, and that's the voltage of the van battery. We just have one battery. We replaced the 12 volt lead acid battery under the bonnet with a 12 volt lithium battery to get some more capacity, and that we use the same battery for starting the van as we do for lights and everything else in here. And we can see here how much current we're drawing, 1.9 amps. That's for charging my drone here and running the lights. Never have to worry about running out of 12 volt power. If we see this battery voltage going a bit low, I can turn the van on and that'll start charging the 12 volt battery from the main traction battery, which is 400 volts DC, hence why we don't need a separate leisure battery here, which is a great space and weight saving. And there's also a little device in here to disconnect everything in the back here if the 12 volt battery goes below, I think it's 11.9 volts or so. So even if we do accidentally leave the cool box on when we're out all day and it's not as sunny as we thought, then and it starts to drain the battery, it'll cut out everything in the back here before it passes the stage where we can't start the van. So all the electronics are housed in the back in here, and there's a little flap in there to be able to get to the fuse box if we need to. So I've replaced the standard Nissan CD head unit that was in the van. It was a very basic one, didn't even have any navigation or anything. Not that the Nissan inbuilt navigation is ever any good, but I replaced the original head unit with an Android head unit. And this is not to be confused with an Android Auto head unit. This is actually a full Android device, and it was just a standard double-DIN unit. Went into here with not too much difficulty. I also wired in a couple of speakers in the back. I also used an adapter to make the steering wheel controls work. You can see it there. That's the steering wheel control adjusting the volume, and I can also pick up a call and load up the dialer using the steering wheel control. So this is a full Android unit. You can install any Android app on it. Mostly we use it for navigation and obviously music. So one really useful thing for an EV is PlugShare, which we use to find charge points. So say if I'm here and I want to navigate to Chester Services, I can click there, look at any recent check-in information. It links to, for internet, the unit here links to my phone via a Wi-Fi hotspot. which is a little bit slow here outside of work, but that's not the head unit, that's just my phone not having a lot of data. And then if I want to navigate there, just tap there and it loads up Google Maps. I downloaded the whole of Spain, and I've got the whole of the UK downloaded, so even when we don't have signal, it still works fine. Another really useful thing here is we can run Leaf Spy, which is a really useful Android app which gives us lots of information about the vehicle, like charging speed, charging graphs, the temperature of the battery, how much the heater's currently drawing, 500 watts here. So yeah, this is really useful. In terms of music, it's got the standard FM radio. If I just tune into a station, and this works just as well, if not better, I think, than the inbuilt radio before. But as well as radio, I'll just close navigation here. As well as radio, I've got Audible, which we use for podcasts. Google Play Music, I downloaded a lot of my music to listen to offline. Bit of Daft Punk, Killers, and Pocket Casts, downloaded a lot of podcasts to listen to. So I'm now back in cold and windy North Wales, but I just wanted to record a short little video about the charging setup I've got here in the van. So under the bonnet here, using it kind of like a trunk in a Tesla, I've made a box here that like clips into place, and got some cable storages under here. Okay, so I'll start off with the simplest charging method, using a standard Type 2 to Type 1 charging cable. So using this cable we can charge up to a maximum of 6.6 kilowatts, about 27 amps on single phase, which is the maximum that the onboard AC charger in the van here can handle. The other cable I carry here is, when I'm travelling abroad, is a Type 3 cable. This is a 32 amp Type 3 cable, which is used in France, although not very common. So I haven't had to use this one yet, so probably going to stop carrying it soon. Yeah, used in France, not very common. These are all the other cables and adapters we carry. So at the heart of this system here is an open EVSE charging station. So this performs similar function to the standard granny cable brick that comes with the car, except this allows us to adjust the charge rate right down to 6 amps, 1.4 kilowatts, and up to 32 amps, or the maximum of the AC charger. So out of there is a standard Type 1 plug that plugs into the van. And then here we got a 32 amp commando single phase plug. So this can plug into a 32 amp outlet, but more usually what we do is we put it through this adapter here to bring it down to a 16 amp outlet, and that then will connect to various domestic plug adapters. We've got a UK plug here, or a European plug. Both of these are good up to about 10 or 12 amps. This is just a 16 amp extension lead here. And then one thing we do is when the power comes into the van, we've got this 16 amp splitter. So power comes into this one, and then one of them goes to the charging station over there, and the other one plugs into this 16 amp caravan hookup in the van here, which is connected to the sockets here in the back of the van. And there's also a 12 volt charger under the seat to enable us to power things like the induction hob or the fridge when it's in the back of the van. And then to allow us to use the induction hob and any 240 volt outlets in the back of the van when we're on a standard Type 2 charger, got this adapter here. It's made for charging a Renault Twizy, which basically gives you a 3-pin plug, a UK 3-pin plug from a standard Type 2 charging station. And obviously we can't charge at the full 32 amp rate when we're here. We limit it to 10 amps, but it does allow us to charge slowly overnight and have all the appliances live in the back of the van.